Evening, everyone. We will see noch einmal, just go over the Gemara very quickly. The Mishnah on the Dalet Amud Aleph, just the shtickle Mishnah from Hareini Shimshon till Ma ben Nazir Olam. So we learned about Shimshon ben Manoach. That we learned in the Mishnah. So let's see just the Mishnah, and then we're going to go into it. Hareini Shimshon. If a person says Hareini Shimshon, or he says Keben Manoach, or Kebal Delilo, other Kemisha Okar Dalsis Azo, Kemisha Oku Plishti Niku Plishti Mesainov, Harez and Nazir. But by saying just Hareini Shimshon, even if he added to say Keben Noach, he's not a Nazir if he didn't add one of these three Lashonas, because without this Oisofe, there's no mashmos to his words that he means actually a Shimshon. Why we have to say Hareini Shimshon or Hareini Keben Noach to actually be a Nazir? He has to add Hareini Shimshon, Keben Noach, Kebal Delilo, or the other two Lashonas of the Mishnah. And for the Gemara, why? The Omar, if you would say only Hareini Shimshon, Have Amine, I would say Shimshon Achrina means a different Shimshon. Komash Malon, Keben Manoach. Veitane Keben Manoach. If you would say only Shimshon and Keben Manoach. Also in this I would say, Have Amine Ike de Miskare. There's a person who's called Shimshon and Manoach. That's what he meant. Komash Malon, Kebal Delilo. That he has to add Kebal Delilo, Kamisha Niku Plishtim Es Einov. So we spoke last week, we saw the Tosis inside, and we spoke last week that the Tosis has a few problems, right? As we saw the Orach Misha, a little bit the big Ariches in the Orach Misha, what the Orach Misha basically says, that we need to have, right, both. And with the Tosis, we have Kebal Delilo. Why Bal Delilo is going to be better than Shimshon and Ben Manoach? So we said a few different shittas, as we said, that he says only Hareini Kebal Delilo, so we saw Machlokes Rishonim, the Rosh says that's enough to say Hareini Kedlila, and the Mishnah says that what he's going to say Shimshon ben Manoach is not enough. And why? Because the Ichus of the Baal doesn't go after the Isha. Only, especially we find Azazach with Manoach. Sorry, not Manoach, with Shimshon. Yeah. Okay. So we saw the Mishnah. The Mishnah says Afilo Lefi the Shita Baal Delilo by itself is not enough. Kemisha Niku Plishtim Eseinov. We saw many. So the Meiri would like to spend a bit of time today on the Rambam. The Shitas Rambam and the Suge. There is about 3 different Mahalchim in the case of Mishnah how to explain the Rambam and our Suge. We saw 2 different Shitas. Toises, the way the Toises Yom Tov learns the Toises, the way the Toises Yom Tov learns the Toises, who brings him the Orach Misha, and we saw the Orach Misha, and we can see Mat Hashem the Rambam. Just a shene Wort far meibton. Shene Wort. A Wertel, I saw a Wertel. What's the pshat in the Gemara? We know there's a Gemara B'Basa. Gemara B'Basa Daf Tzadik Aleph Amud Aleph. The Gemara says, what's the name of the mother of Shimshon? Does the Gemara? Slal Foinis. Slal Foinis. Right? The Gemara, the Mai Nafkemine. The Mai Nafkemine. She's called Slal Foinis. The Mai Nafkemine. And for the Gemara, the Tshuvas Haminim. Explains the Rashbam over there by Basa Tzadik Aleph that was a pshat because the pasuk is smoking out of and the state echet ula ovi ula imoy lo higid. So you have to explain that all of these things that the minim ask, what's the reason? We don't know the names. We answer them. The Nevi'im gave it us Be'al Peh, Mosun Honu Nevi'im Be'al Peh, right? That's the Tshuvas Haminim. That's the Tshuvas Haminim. We can fragen as a shayla. Let's ask a question. We saw over here, we went through the story last week. We must have to go again over the story. So what's going to be the day? So we saw if a person says, Kamisha Nikru Klishi Veseinov, or the Keben Monoya, sorry, or Keben Monoya, or Kamisha Okar Dalsis Azo, or Kamisha Ebal Delilo. What about if a person says, Hareini Shimshon, Keben Monoya, Kebal Delilo, but he says, altogether, then he's going to be a Nazir. What if he says only one of the Lashonas? So he's not going to be a Nazir, right? That's what we said, because each one you can explain, oh, he meant the person that's called Shimshon, the person that's called Ben Manoach, or Shimshon Ben Manoach, he didn't mean Nazir, he meant someone else. Oh, what if about the person says, Hareini Shimshon, Ben Slal Foinis? He says Ben Slalfoinis. Do we mean that only the Shimshon we know Ben Slalfoinis? Or maybe you could explain it that what he didn't mean Bechal Nazirus. So if examine Molavod, לפי דגמור ב-14, what the Gemara says? מה נפקימין and for the Gemara L'Tshuva Saminim. If it would help, the Gemara should say למי נפקימין. And נפקימין, if a person says, הרי אני נוזיר כבן סללפוינס. And Amai must be, that's what, that if he says in this lashon, he's not going to be a Nazir. Okay. Let's go to Shitas Rambam, how to explain this sugya. So we're going to go to the Rambam. The Rambam is in Hilchos Nazirus, the Rambam Perek Gimel, Halochet Esvov, Zog the Rambam Azoi. Ha'oimer areini keshimshon, keven monoyach, kebal delilo, כמי שעוקר דלתריס עזו, כמי שניקו פלישתי מסעינו, הרי זה נוזיר בנזיר ושמשון. ואף על פי שנעשו מייסים אלו לאיש אחר. עד כאן is also Rambam. Says the Meiri. So let's start with the Meiri. The way they explain the Rambam, they explain the Rambam has a new pshat in the Mishnah over here and in the Gemara. So it says the Meiri, the Rambam has a new pshat in the Gemara and in the Mishnah over here. He has a different gears in the Gemara what we had, and we're gonna see. We're gonna explain it. That means that's right. Yeah, in the Mishnah and the Gemara. The feeder sheet of the Gemara, we don't say Omar. We don't say Omar. I mean, the Meiri says that the Rambam didn't answer the E Omar. Yeah, just what the E Tane. He also not as a gearse of Keben Manoyach. Just what he has a gearse that E Tane Hareini Keshimshon. That means Hareini Keshimshon. We would have I mean, Shimshon Achrine. Or Mashmalon, then we don't say Shimshon Achrine. And if we would say Ben Manoyach, we would have Amine that he's called Ben Manoyach, different person. Come Mashmalon. Explains the Meiri as well. The Gemara had the Shaila. Lefi the Rambam, how do you explain it? The Gemara had the Shaila. Why the Tana has to tell us the Klal, right? This Mishnah. It's not possible. Every one of this Lashonis, he should be a Nazir. And the Gemara answers, that's the Shaila of the Gemara. If it wouldn't say Areini Keshimshon, I would say that this doesn't help. Why? Because it's different Shimshon out there. Mashallah, it does help. And also, if it wouldn't say only Keven Monoyach, I would say Dafke Shimshon helps because that is the Shema Etzem, that is the Shem of the person. But Keben Noyach, Keben Monoyach wouldn't help. Why? Because maybe there's other people called as Komashmalon, it helps. And if it wouldn't say Kebal Dalila, I would say only Shimshon and Keben Monoyach, that is his name actually, is going to help. But Kebal Dalila, that this is on, because a certain event that he married Dalila, maybe is not going to help. Komashmalon, it helps. And that's the pshat of the sugya. So Lefi the Rambam, Bechlal, totally different. Each one, why do we need Bechlal this Mishnah? Shimshon helps, Monoyach helps, each separate one will help. And the Meiri says that Lefi them, the Rambam also has a different girsa in the sugya. In the end of the Gemara, we're going to be goyres. Ve'i Omar, Kebal Dalilo, Ukemisha Okar, Ukemisha Niku. So the Hava Amine Keinish Dalme. That's what happened to him. That means, if not the Mishnah, what's a pshat? Lulei the Mishnah, I would say that these Lashonos don't help. Why? Because maybe there's other people who happen to them exactly that Maisa. Yeah, so that's the Hemshech, exactly, that's the Hemshech. Lefi the Rambam, that's the Hemshech over here. And that's what it also fits very good in the Rambam. What the Rambam says, Ve'af al pi she'efshar shenasu maisim elu leish acher, that fits very good, and that's the Chiddush of our Gemara. Even though it might be that someone else had the same maisim, the same actions happened to him, af al pi kein, we say no, he meant Shimshon and it's chal on him that is zero Shimshon. The Kesef Mishnah, when he brings this pshat, and he proves this pshat from the Rambam. Why? The Rambam says over there, Shmuel Haramosi, this we can see Matz Hashem in a few minutes, you can see the Mishnah, Shmuel Haramosi was Nazir Oilam. Says the Rambam in Halacha Design, Shmuel Haramosi Nazir Oilam, Lefikoch, Oimer Areini Shmuel Haramosi, Oder Keben Chano, Keben Elkono, Kemi Shisef Es Agog And we don't say, maybe Shem or Leish Achel Shemas of Eile Diskaven. That's enough, even one of these Lashonis. So the Kesamisha brings that must be that the Rambam learned very different than what we learned the Gemara last week. That for sure you need a few, yeah? And the Torah says that the first chelik of the Mishnah, you need all of the Lashonis, Shimshon and Banmoneh, and adding also with it, can be one of the actions. Or one of the actions is enough. That's the machlokes we said, the Achmisha with the Toshes Yontev, the way to learn Tosfos, in Tosfos. We have totally a different chat over here. One of the Lashonos will be good enough. Ben Slalfoinis, different Ben Chana. I see. Maybe Lefi the Rambam Takis should be the same. Lefi the vote what we said before. Lefi the Rambam, Ben Monoyach helps. So Ben Monoyach helps, also Ben Slalfoinis Lechoiro should help. Yeah, the
Rambam says Kiyotze Be'elu on the next one. In Halacha Zayin he says Kiyotze Be'elu, but in the Halacha Tesvav it doesn't say Kiyotze Be'elu.
So no, the Shaila is Ben Slalfoinis will help the Rambam or the Nish.
So he doesn't say Kiyotze Be'elu. In Yud Zayin when he teaches about Shmuel Aramos, he says Kiyotze Be'elu.
Yeah.
Then to Zayin he doesn't say it. Could be that maybe it wouldn't only these Davka.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It's not going to help. So why? So why the Shaila is in the Gemara in the Rambam? Why Ben Slalfoinis wouldn't help? The why Ben Chano? Ben Chano helps the feed Rambam. Ben Nazir Olam? Yes. Not look at the Zion. Ben Slalfoinis. The Gemara said, "I'm kenile tshuva samini." We wanted to be dying. Samini tafke not. Okay, yeah, it's, I got it. Maybe you could say I got it. Eilem made him and I got this. Yeah. Once we know the thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not written in the pasuk that Ben Slalfoinis. It's not written in the pasuk with Furish. Maybe Dafke Chano, it's written in the pasuk with Furish. Then you can say Ben Chana is going to help, but this Ben Slalfoinis doesn't help, so it could be okay. Before we go to the next Mishnah, so we have to have always some this Nazir Shimshon properly, because basically Nazir Shimshon is the next Mishnah as well, because Mabi Nazir Oilon is Nazir Shimshon. But let's speak about what is we're speaking about in the beginning of the Masechet, about what is the emes of a Nazirus. What is the Geder of Nazirus? We spoke about it, right? The Ma'ari, the Geder of Nazirus. So we came to the conclusion that the Geder of Nazirus is Asavi Kahuna. Right? The person turns to be a Nazir. And the Torah is Meichil Onem all of the Yisurim. Let's speak about a bit the Nazirus Shimshon. Nazirus Shimshon. What is Nazirus Shimshon? And so let's start with the Psukim. The Psukim is in Shoftim in Kapitel Yud Gimel. The Pasuk starts, Vayi Ish Echad, after Pashas Nosai, I think. And Vayi Ish Echad mi Tzoro, mi Mishpachas Hadoni, right? Ushmoi, Monoyach. Veishto Akoro, Velo Yelodo. And Vayero Malach Hashem Elo Yisho, Vayemer Eleo. He tells her, Hine no at Akoro, Velo Yoladet. And we spoke in the Shiurim why actually this double lashon, Ayin Shom. Anyway, Ve'oris ve'yoladet bein. We'll have a child. Ve'ato. From now, Hishom, we know this was, we spoke about Lochet, is a deen that she has to look after herself. The Uber, why, yes, I'm not Mechuyev. Ve'ato Hishom, we know. The Malach Hashem tells her, Val tishti yain ve'sheichol. And Val toichli kol tomei. And this we have to understand why Val toichli kol tomei. What's Nazir is not allowed to eat tumei. The tomei means dvorim ha'asurim. There's a few pshatim over there. Ki inoch oro ve'yolades bein umoiro lo ya'ale al roishoi. So he's also betig lachas, right? As I state, ki nazir eloikim iye anar min ha'boten vehu yochel lo yishia es Yisrael miyad pelishtim. And that's the first yochel lo yishia. It's the first gvura, first stage of nevuah, as the Rambam speaks in Moira. What we just spoke. Okay. The Malach, that's the psukim, what the Malach tells Eishes Monoyach, she's a Korah, she can't have children, that she will have a child, and he gives her a few commandments before he speaks to her, right? He tells her, don't drink wine, don't eat tumah, and not to be megaleach the son when he's going to be born. Now the Malach tells us what's the tachlis of all these surim. If you look at the psukim, all the tachlis of all these surim is that the son that will be born, it will be a Nazir Elokim, right? So this tzivuyim of the Malach, right? We see it's not stam, because straight later, right, when he comes the second time, the Malach Elokim comes the second time, right, when she goes over and she tells it over to her husband, right, later on then the Pasuk Zion, it says she tells her husband all the tzivuyim, but she actually not everything she says. What she loses out, what she lost out over there, she says that she doesn't bring the fact that she's Akora, the Isur Tiglachas of Shimshon. She doesn't bring the Isur Tiglachas. Now there's a third time when the Malach comes the second time, and that's the third time where the Psukim we see again the Tzivuim about Salfoinis, that's for Salfoinis. And this time the Malach doesn't say that what the Eishes Monech she's Akora. And also, he doesn't bring the Isur of Tiglachas. He doesn't bring the Isur of Tiglachas. The third time when we hear the Tzivui, the second time when the Malach comes, we don't have it. Ober, he says, over there, the MS is that the second time when the Malach comes, he says, Mikol asher omarti leisho tishomer. Right? He says that when she calls her husband, Manoach to come, he tells her, Mikol asher omarti leisho tishomer. She should think. That means, this... what I gave you the instructions beforehand, the first time, this also the second time. Okay. When we look at the psukim, of Sefer Shoftim, we find over there is many differences, or mitzat sheni, also many things that are similar to the parsha of the Nazir and the Torah. Why? Because the first thing what we said, the Lashon Nazir. Sai, the Malach, when he speaks to Eishes Monoyach, he says the word Nazir. Sai, when Monoyach hears it the second time from his wife, right? The second time when we find it in the Psukim. And Sai, the second time when the Malach comes, that's the third time we hear always the Nazir, the word Nazir, right? And Nazir, we find us on the Torah. Nazir is Isur Tiglachas, Isur Yain, and Isur Tumah. And the words of the Malach, we heard the same thing, just a little bit differently, right? Even though the Tiglachas, we don't have the second time and the third time, but Yain v'Sheichol, right? We have it 3 times, Yain v'Sheichol. Now, this we don't find so much in Tanakh, Yain v'Sheichol, and this is what the Torah starts, right? The Isur of a Nazir, the Gemara says, right? Yain v'Sheichol, Yazir. We said, we learned 2 weeks ago, what's the Yain v'Sheichol, why Sheichol, Midin Mishaker, but also we find it in Nazir, the parsha of Nazir in the Torah, and as well also in the parsha of Tanakh, in the Nach, we find it. We have also a few differences. What's the differences? In the Torah, we start the parsha of Nazir, Ish ki yafli lindor neder Nazir le'azir. Legabi Shimshon, he will be on Neder, it's not his. Ish ki yafli, he can be mafli, he can thing. Right, ve'upeli. We said there's maybe a connection. There's no... He didn't, right? The schus in the Torah, the person to be a Nazir, it's his, not before he's born, and not his parents, right? Over here, it's not his parents, not him, the Malach. Not like the Torah. The Torah tells us that what? The Yisurin go klape the Nazir himself. What we find over here, the Malach tells the mother, right? The mother, Salfoinis, let's call her, yeah? Not to drink wine, and not to eat any kol tomei. Another difference what we find the regular Nazirus is the Nazirus Shimshon starts from where? Min Habboten, right? Before birth. Another difference what we find, not like in the Torah, but we find that the Torah Stam Nazirus Shloshim Yom. There's a limited time. Nazirus Shimshon will be, right? Ad Yoim Moisoi, as we find actually that Monoyach was told by his wife that Eishes Monoyach tells her husband he will be a Nazir Ad Yoim Moisoi. When he formed the bar before, because that's why he gives a Yisurim. Yeah, it doesn't say Mina later, Mina Botan. Yeah. Yeah, consent. I'm just saying, let's find, is it the same type of a Nazirus or not? Because we can see it's a big enough community. Again, I know that sounds like a little bit of our nachshir, but it's this Yesoidis is very important to understand the sugya. What is a Nazirus Shimshon? Is a chelik from the family of Nazirus? Is it different? Legabe, there's a Torah, there's no Torah. Many questions could be solved with this mahalach. What we're gonna try to speak tonight. Yeah. What we can see much in the next shiurim also. Yeah. But in Novi Rasha Lechadish. So we find that the Makor was in the Torah. Just we have to understand. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Taka. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see the thing. So the last difference, what we said, is talking about Legabi the Isur Tumah, right? Legabi Isur Tumah, and the Torah is what means Tumah. The Tumah of a Nazir is not a Isur Tumah mess. Isur Tumah mess. Nazir Shimshon, the Tumah, what we're talking about, Val Toichli called Tumah. Talking about the Isur Achila. We're not talking about Tumah and Tumah mess. Some Meforshim explain that the emes the kavana is al toichli called Tumah mess. As like the Radak. And the Radak brings from the Targum, as is Masha from the Targum, that al technical Tome is Tumas Mes. All as we can see on our base, and this is what Rabbi Eli just mentioned now, that's right. And the Dalit base, you see that Chazal say that Shimshon was allowed to be Metame Lemeisim. Was allowed to be Metame Lemeisim. Now the Isu, what we learn over here, al technical Tome, is talking Misyaches to the food, right? Grapes, chaltzanim, zagim. These things, what we talk about called tome, is dvorim asurim for nazir. That is the tome. That's the. So we had over here about 5 different differences between a regular nazir and nazir shimshon. Is bechlal, can we? Oh, and now to feed them, let's ask the question: when we take nazir shimshon, taking the concept of nazir shimshon, is it something that comes from nazirus? Is a nayazach? If says maybe is, let's be to Rabbi Eli, what he was asking, is a nice Oyro Ashor, let's call it Oyro Ashor. It's driven out from the regular Nazir. We have also Nazir Shimshon. Oh no, a Nayazar, a new thing, different Oyro Ashor. Because we found 5 different, we just spoke out 5 differences between a regular Nazir and a Nazir Minatira. Is it something special that what, and that's Shimon, yeah, that it was Chat Pa'ami, something that we cannot repeat again. And even if we're going to say that, could you repeat again as Asot Nazirus, we still could check what is the connection between Nazirus Shimshon and the regular Nazirus. We talk about Nazirus is part of the regular Parshas Nazirus, and we have also a new model of Slalfoinis and Monoyach, Nazirus Shimshon, with all the differences. Right, we have a new model of Nazirus. It's possible, or maybe Nazirus Shimshon, as actually it's a new thing that we had, but it has nothing to do with the Nazirus State in the Torah. Right? It's a Anaya Aloche, was steht for sich, Anaya Aloche, was steht for sich. Okay. So before we, yeah, there could be not enough communities. So let's see, what is the Nazirus? Is Nazirus, as we spoke, Nazirus, Bechlal, we said from the Ma'arit, right? And we came to the conclusion that this is Kahune, the Nazir, the Torah gave him Yisurim. Let's look at the Nazir Shimshon. What is it? What is the Mahut of a Nazir Shimshon? And what is the character of a Nazir Shimshon? What is it? The 4 differences, what we see between, let's not talk about the Tumah, but let's talk about the 4 differences, what we find a regular Nazir and Nazir Shimshon, right? As we said, the Yetzir is Alidei Malach, Mibeten, right? We said it's not the thing. The Yisurim is on the mother of Shimshon. So we said Alidei Malach, from the mother, Nazirus Mibeten, and Nazirus Adyoy Moisim. 4 differences. Let's not talk about the Tumah. This tells us that what? That this is very similar, like the Yesod of Nazirus we spoke till now. let's get it clear. Just a little bit chazorah. We spoke about many times because we wanted to get the idea of Nazirus. Nazirus is like kahuna. The person turns into Shem Etzem. Hashem, the person becomes a Nazir. It's not a Gavre, it's not a Chefze, something in between. That the person himself turns into a Nazir, and the Torah was making on him all kinds of stories because now he's a Nazir, like a Kohen. Kohen, he's a Kohen, now he's not allowed to be a Tamet, a Mes, a Kiddush, all of the dinim. So mitzad echad, because we see all of these things, that Yetzirosoi Malach, the mother, Mibeten, Ad Yoy Moisoi, what is it? It's a concept that the person, right, the Torah gave him the thing, or it's like a neder. When we look at these dinim, so this is like, right, this is Nazirus. It's not like a neder. This is a Nazirus, something more, less of a, something that I would say a bchira of a person. A neder is more of a bchira of a person. I decide, another side. We're using a little bit of a different language, not the language of a Gemara, but yeah, just to get the idea. I want to get first the idea, then we're going to take it to the Lamdas. But the idea is that if we don't look at the Nazirus Shimshon is a regular Nazirus, and we got the concept of Nazirus, that it's a person change. So is this as a person? Yes, right? And this shows us that what? The first four, right? Shows us that what? That this is something the Rebbe Shem decided, that like Kahuna. And the Rebbe Shem decided, Mitzat Sheni. It's not annoyed. No. Yeah, exactly. The fact that you decided on the Nazirus didn't come mitzad the person, right? It came mitzad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, mitzad the Torah. And the fact that the Nazirus is also has to do with the mother of Shimshon, Bifra, that even before he was born, yeah? It shows that there's no episode, someone that he done a neder, I want to do, I was mischayev myself. There's nothing to do. And the fact is that the Nazirus starts from mi beten, that also shows, and it ends when we moisoi. It shows also that what? There's no possibility, as we said, I choose, I done a neder. Just what? This is not. That we're going to see in the Gemara. That's one of the things. But as you can see also later, the Gemara in Daf Yudalet, and also we have the same thing in the Gemara in Makkos Daf of Beis. The Gemara says that you cannot be shoyl on Nazir Shimshon. Right? So if you them, there's another difference between Nazir Shimshon and regular Nazirus. If you can be shoyl on the neder. Again, this is also the same thing. That what? That this is something that the Torah decided. It's not something to think. Chutz in this, that if we can look at the Nazir Shimshon also in the more of the pshat and the psukim, is that who yochel, what's the purpose of his Nazirus? Who yochel lo yishiach Yisrael, right? It has to do with the Shimshon has a job over here in this world to be Mashiach Yisrael, and that's the reason he should be a Nazir. Again, it's not something that he is chosen beforehand, right? Nazir Elokim, nicht stam Nazir. Nazir Elokim he has to be. Nazir Elokim he has to be. Well, let's look. So that's mitzad echad. We have many things that are similar in the idea and the differences from a Nazir Shimshon and a regular Nazir. That in the mahus of it, yeah, the word Nazir, Nazir Elokim, and the mahus of it is similar. Mitzad sheni. Let's go to the fifth difference what we had between Nazir Shimshon and Nazir regular Nazir. The Tamil Mason. Says we mentioned the Gemara in Omid Beis. The Gemara is going to teach us that what Shimshon had a heter to be mitamel mesim, and this is very different than Nazirus. For the Torah says opposite than we learned till now. Why? That means not like the first four differences what we said till now that strengthened this idea that what that this is something that the Torah gave him the power, right? The Nazirus Shimshon. This pakel, this gives us idea. It's more like a neder, right? Nazirus Shimshon. Why? One of the ideas what we have in Nazirus, Stam Nazirus, what we learn in the Torah is that the three Isurim, what we have is, as we said, one package, right? As we learned this 2 weeks ago. You can't decide I'm taking one of them only Yain, only Tiglachas, only one of them. It's even more than that, as we learned before, right? That's what? If someone says, Areini Nazir Milechel Bechartzon, what's going to be the deal? The Nazirus is anything. So what do we see from over here? This is a Nazirus that what the Torah gave you as we speak. That's one of the raya. That this is a raya. The Nazirus is one thing. Hashem Nazir, and now you can't choose. It's not something that is chayvus of a person, and that a person doesn't have a choice. You said Nazir, it became a Nazir in Gansen. Nazir Shimshon also is part of the Yisur in Nazir. But the Nazir Shimshon, you see that it does have to do with a person if he doesn't, right? If he says, I don't want to be Metamel Mesim, you have a tzad, maybe he means Nazir Shimshon, as we can see in the Gemara. So what do we see over there? If someone's Mekabel himself, yeah, Shimshon itself. Yeah, you're right. But I try. It's not the word in the halacha. We try to get what's the idea of Nazir Shimshon. What's is Nazir Shimshon? Welche sort Nazir Shimshon? Now the full difference is what we said is shows that what that this is the koyach came from the Torah. Koyach came from the Torah, and that's mitzad sheni. We have the other thing that shows that what it shows like a neder, fakir the neder. When a person wants to make kabbalah himself Nazir Shimshon. When a person, so this is when we talk about a zero shimshon. A zero shimshon. So you're right, we have 4 against 1. We could say, okay, this is more of a idea of a zeros, right? Because when we talking about a person is coming to get the zero shimshon. Kommt sich mekabel sein, a zero shimshon. What's going to be the thing? That is very, very different. Why? Because the first 3 differences, what we said of Yetzirot Beten, right? And Alidei Malach. And the zeros on the mother, it's not shaykh of it. He can't do it. The only thing what he could have of Nazir Shimshon is Nazir Olam. That's it, yes. Mitzad Sheni, the Nazirus is not going to include Isturei Tumas Mes. So now when a person makes Kabbalah of the Nazirus, he has Mitzad Echod, he has Nazirus Olam. More like a Nazir Lokim as we called it before. Mitzad Sheni, he has Isturei Tumah. Even more than that. The fact that the person himself, yeah, the person that's we're talking about, someone is mekabel nazir shimshon, the mekabel nazir shimshon, he could bring korbanos, yeah, he becomes a nazir olam. We could look at a different one. Dafke, the case that a nazir shimshon or nazir olam, this nazir could not bring any korbanos. Korban tumah he doesn't bring, right? Because he doesn't have an isur to be with Tomei. Because when are you being a korban? Nazir brings a korban, he's spoken to Akdome on 2 different occasions. Or he becomes Tomei, and he brings korbanos, as we can see, that's Hashem in the 2nd, 3rd perek. And when he finished, this Nazir Shimshon brings Mishkin korbanos. He becomes Tomei, he's allowed. If he finishes, he never finishes. Kommentare in the end, he doesn't bring, because it never ends, right? And this is a very, very big idea that gives us that the Nazir Shimshon has fakert. What is it? It's a Kabbalah. Person, he is mekabelet, right? He is mekabel, the Nazir Shimshon. Oh, so if we look at the Mishnah, you're right. So Moshe mentioned, let's look at the Mishnah. So if we look at the Mishnah, what the Mishnah says, Hareini, as we like the words of the Mishnah, Hareini keshimshon, keben monoyach, כבעל דלילה, או כמי שאוקר דל סויס עזו, כמי שניקרו פלישתים, נוקרו פלישתים מסעינוב, הרי זה נוזיר שמשון. מה בין נוזיר, and I'm just continuing the next Mishnah, yeah? This is the ממשיך the Mishnah, and the Mishnah says one Mishnah. מה בין נוזיר אוילום לנוזיר שמשון? Says the Mishnah, וכולי וכולי וכולי, and then the end of the Mishnah, what we learn over there? נוזיר שמשון, איך בי צערוי אינו מקל, ואם נטמו, now the Mishnah assumes pashtus, as you said, that what Nazir Shimshon is a Nazir that always exists. The whole deen is only if you mekabel the Nazirus, and what's how we look at the biyachas to Nazir Olam, right? How we look at the Nazir Olam, that's pashtus in the Mishnah. The Gemara brings a brayse, and this is what Tosefta. So Tosefta Nazir Perek Aleph Halacha Hey. It's also brought on Yerushalmi. It's brought on Machlokes. Bechlal is a possibility to be mekabel as a Nazirus. And the Mishnah named done as a pashtus, a person can be mekabel as a Nazirus. And in the Brayse, what we learn in our days, it says over there, Kashem, Shekinu Nazirus Nazirus, Kach Kenu Shimshon Keshimshon. And the Tosefta says, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Nazir Shimshon Betamel Amazim, Shimshon Atzmo Nitmo Amazim, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Hareini Keshimshon Loi Omar Klum. The Yotza Nazirus Mipiv Olov. So what's going to over here? Lefi Tanekame, there's a possibility of a person to be Mekabel Nazir Shimshon. Rabbi Yehuda adds that the din is allowed to be metamel mesim. Omer, Shimon says there's no possibility to mekabel Nazir Shimshon. Rabbi Yehuda also mentioned that over here the kula that the Nazir Shimshon, that what? You have a heter tume. Not only the chumah that is also lo'ilam, as we said in the Mishnah. It could be that this is dafke ledas Rabbi Yehuda that we said that the tume is that what gives them the Nazir Shimshon. Because in this, the reason what he gives us, it's not because he's relying now that the Malach told the Ashes on the behavior of Shimshon itself, right? Shimshon itself, and what's the Rai of the Gemara? Because Shimshon itself was Nitmol Amazing. As you can see in Amad Beis, he himself was Nitmol Amazing. Anyway, so let's focus on Shitas Rab Shimon, as you say, yeah? Let's focus on Shitas Rab Shimon. So in the Tosefta, what we see over here, Rab Shimon says that Nazir Shimshon is not Chal Bichlal. Why? Shelo yotzon nezirus mipiv olom. What's the svara of Rab Shimon? What is the svara of Rab Shimon? What is the machlokes Rabbi Yehuda Tanakam against Rab Shimon? Rab Shimon could be mitzad echad, like every other nedorim. And din b'chlal, din nedorim. What's the din of nedorim? The din of nedorim tell us that you can be matfis a neder only with dover anodor, not with dover also. Yeah, alle weisen das. Nedorim daf yud beis amad beis. The Gemara in Nedorim Daf Yudalid, the Ran in the beginning of Nedorim, the first Daf Beis Amudalid. That means a person that wants to be matfis a neder and to decide that a certain item, a certain chayfetz should be also. What should he do? Like a different chayfetz that's already also, right? That's existing. He could do it only by being miyaches this iso that was done. Mishamayim, not the davar also. Not that I said that this is going to be also. And then, for example, a person like Nevelo or Chazir, right? That can't be, that's a davar also, right? Hegdesh or Kolben, that could be Misyaches. But not a Nevele or something like that, that's a davar also. Zero Shimshon, it was not a davar another. Because it was not done al Yedei Adam, it's a davar also because it's done al Yedei Amir of a Malach. And you can't be Matfis. Maybe, no, that's what it can say. What's the story of Shimon? The Yotzim Piv Olav. This is like a neder. And if it's like a neder, you can't be matfis bedavar hanodu. You have to be matfis bedavar also. So the zero shimshon maybe is a davar not also. The davar also because he didn't think. Or maybe you can explain it as well. A person himself cannot create himself a Nazir Shimshon. Why? Why not? Because Nazir Shimshon, what is Nazir Shimshon? Nazir Shimshon never happened by a person. This chiddush of Nazir Shimshon happened with the instructions of a malach. It happened by a malach. People could not do azar. That's pashas that you learned. Yeah, that's the way you learned Rab Shimon. I see. Yeah, he didn't learn like the other way.
Tosis and Amud Beis learns it the first way.
Yeah. Oh, so lechoire, pashas and the Gemara we learned it like the second way. People could do Nazirus, right? Oh, but you can't do a partially Nazirus. Only a Nazirus what's koilel, all three storim, chartzanim, yain, tiglach, same thing. Mimele the Nazirus is a partial Nazirus, so only Nazirus on a chelik of the thing. It's like, oh, sure, it was only then it could be done, but you can't do it. It was only a Nazirus for that time. If you could be matfis nedorim bedavar also. You can't be matfis Nazirus Shimshon. Why? Because davar also is what the Torah gave you, and the Torah knows this is also. And over here you could also say, oh, the same thing, also something else. Or the Nazir Shimshon is not part of the Dina Torah, what we always know. It was a special Dina, and you cannot take this thing and say, oh, let's copy it to a different thing.
Why isn't it Masna Mashakos Torah?
Why it's not Masna Mashakos Torah? Why yes?
Because it doesn't exist in the Torah. So he's making a Nazirus which doesn't.
It's not neged.
It is because the Torah says Nazirus is something else, and he can be Matan over here.
So he's not saying it's Nazirus. He's saying a Nazirus Shimshon. It's a different Nazirus.
So we should say Tanoi. This Tanoi is not Kayam, but his Dvorov are Kayamim. So if it doesn't exist, according to Yehuda, according to Reb Shimon, he should still be a regular Nazir.
Why? Because so is that what Reb Moshe wanted to say? That Reb Shimon is the Shitosai. That you need to say all three.
Very good.
Yeah, but okay, it's not this is doing go like, oh, what's coming to say? So let's see what we got so far. That oh, so that we spoke 2 weeks ago, which was with the way is not shy. Because of it. No. It's like let's just say there's 2 different malchim over here, as we said, and the reason of Rab Shimon. Right? What we said in the Rab Shimon, what brings down Shelo Yotzo Nazirus Mipiv Olav. Is it talking about the reason, right? Let's talk about Azoya, Lamdish. It's the Sibbe, or maybe it's a Siman to the din. It's a Sibbe of the din, or maybe a Siman. That means that the first shot, what we said, it's a Dover Anodu. The shot is Lo Yotzo Nazirus Mipiv Olam. That's the Sibbe. The Sibbe of the din is because Shimshon was never Mekabel himself the Nazirus. So it's not considered like Dover Anodu, it's a Dover also, and that's the reason, it's a Sibbe that it can't be Matkis as a Nazirus. If we understand Lo Yotzo Nazirus Mipiv Olav is a Siman, and the reason is, the fact is that what? Shimshon never took out Nazirus from his mouth, right? So it's a Siman that what the person could not do as a Chalois. Siman and Sibbe. Okay, that's going to be easier to understand. So let's see weiter. In the Sugya in the Gemara, and in Daf Daled Amud Beis, mainly the Sugya, but we could speak it out now, and we're going to see in the Sugya it's going to be easier to understand. So when we look at the in the Sugyas, and we just look Sai in the Yerushalmi, Sai in the Bavli, so we're going to see that we could go with a certain mahalach. Let's start with the Bavli. The Gemara in Daf Amud Beis, the Gemara says very clear, is Reb Shuli said beforehand, Rabbi Meyer, that what? That we actually going at the first pshat, Dover Anodu. That's the Mekor of the din, Kabbalas, the Zero Shimshon is Bedin, Hatfose Dover Anodu. Because after the Gemara brings the Tosefta, the Gemara also depends on the Machloikis of Yudah and Rab Shimon, the Machloikis of Yisrael and Rabbi Yaakov. What's the Machloikis? They have a Machloikis, the Shaile, can you be Matfis of Choyel? Choyel, we will still remember, and a Choyel is a Dover also. Why is it Dover also? So it's not be a day Adam, right? And the Gemara says b'meforish that Rab Shimon and Rab Yosi, they both hold that what you could be matvis only with Dover Hanodu, and that's the reason you could not be matvis Nazir Shimshon and the B'choil. Or by Rab Yudah and Rab Yaakov, they say that well you could be matvis also with Dover also, and that's you could be matvis also B'choil and Nazir Shimshon. That's what the Gemara says in the beginning. Then the Gemara is doichet. Why? The Gemara says, no, lekule alme, you need to be matfis dafke bedover anodo. Just what? Yaakov al has a special ribui that is also bedover anodo. Rabbi Yossi disagrees. He says, afal biken choir is still considered a dover also. Now, again, Rav of the Rishonim, Shittim Kobet says the Meiri has 2 pshatim, but in the first pshat, what the Meiri calls Shita Sakazmoinim, Nazir kum tois for the Mefarish and Amud Beis, and for the Toises and Amud Beis and Diva Maschil Loi. That and most Rishonim they explain that the pshat is that Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yaakov both of them hold that b'derech klal you need the dover anodo. The machloikes of B'choil is called the dover anodo or not. Yeah, and that is masha for the sugya. So that's talking about there is the Rosh, the Shittim Kobetes, the Rabbeinu Azriel, the Meiri in the second pshat, that they explain that the pshat is that also lefi Rabbi Yudah and Rab Shimon. Okay, we're gonna see the Gemara inside the Shakal Tay. We're gonna explain it differently. But the ribui by B'choil is in the parsha of the Dorim. Ish ki idor neder la Hashem, and from the word la Hashem, we merabe also b'choyer. That even though he's called Ishmerechem, because there's a mitzvah, the Magdish is called Bichlal Dover Hanodo. Yeah, blood a special needle. Then let's continue the Shakal Tay in the Gemara. The Gemara suggested that also in Nazirus we have a special ribui. That the special ribui is called also Nazirus Shimshon. Why? The word La Hashem, at the beginning of the parsha of Nazir state, Isho, Kiyafli, Lindor, Neder, Nazir, Le'azir, La Hashem. So we have a word La Hashem. The Gemara is doichet. The Gemara says no. The word La Hashem over here we darshan for something else. What we darshan, right? La Shimon HaTzadik, that is, sorry, Kavone, Nazirus, Hashem, Shomayim. We darshan something else. As we do tomorrow. The maskon of the sugya. What is the maskona? We don't have, it doesn't explain what is Rabbi Yudah. When we look at Rabbi Yudah, beyachas to this din of Dover Anodo, Sayos Bechlal, in Naziru Shimshon. So what is Rabbi Yehuda. What is Rabbi Yehuda? What's al Rabbi Yehuda? What's al Rabbi Yehuda? So there's many shittas in the Rishonim, in the Achronim, to explain Rabbi Yehuda. So let's speak a few shittas in the shit of Rabbi Yehuda, and we're going to mention the three mahalchim in Rabbi Yehuda. Three mahalchim in Rabbi Yehuda. And each one, we can see what's the machlokas of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon about Nazir Shimshon. So for this, I would like to see the Gemara Nochamol innovating. So let's start the sugya inside, but I don't know if we're going to continue today, but okay. So we're going to start it today. We're going to be Mamshichet in Hashem next week. Let's start the Mishnah. Zog the Mishnah. Someone who's mekabel himself Nazirus without a limitation. He says, Hareini Nazir Stam. Stam Nazir Shlosh. You can see it's a next sugya. He says, Hareini Nazir Loilam. So he's a Nazir Loilam. He's a Nazir Loilam. He said, Hareini Nazir Loilam. He's a Nazir Loilam. And he has a special thing. What's a special thing? So let's see. Ma bein Nazir Oilam and Nazir Shimshon. What is the difference between Nazir Oilam and Nazir Shimshon? Nazir Oilam, Hichbit Saroi, Mekel, Metal. What means? Hichbit Saroi is heavy, he's Mekel Metal, he's allowed to shave if he wants. Yeah, he's not Mechuyev if he wants. Maybe the Nazir Oilam, when he's Mekel Saroi, when he does a haircut, Sholosh Behemoth, right? The Chatos, Oila, and Shlobim. Like Korbanos Nazir, when he finishes the Nazirus, a Korban Nazir, when he finishes the Nazirus, brings dry thing. Even though Nazir Oilam does not finish his Nazirus, right? He still brings the three korbanos. Ve'im nitma. If there's Nazir Oilam became Tomeh, maybe Korban Tumeh. What's a Korban Tumeh? Shtei Toirim, or Shtei Bnei Yoina, and Osham, like any other Nazir. Aber, Nazir Shimshon, Ich bit Saroi, Einoi Mekel. Can't shave his head bechlal. Ve'im nitma, Einoi maybe Korban Tumeh. You can't bring a Korban Tumeh. Can't bring a Korban Tumeh. Says Toises, Nazir Oilo Mekel, ולא ימגלח לגמרי קו שולם, שלא יגילח לגמרי, שהרי נית לו בשרו. Toises says, tar doesn't mean mamish legalech betar, because it can't mean betar, because it means not legamre. Right? That's what Toises says. Right? ולא ימגלח לגמרי קו שולם, שלא, right? That's the מקור of גילוח and Nazir Oilo, as we see in the Gemara, שלא יגילח לגמרי, שהרי נית לו בשרו. That's what Toises says. Oh, so very good. And Azoi, the Toises Yom Tov, very good. So the Toises Yom Tov Take, he says that Nitlo Besaroi Sobuch Legiluchoi. He proves. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Yeah. No, we can see it by Avshalom. The Raya is from Avshalom. Yeah. No, we can see later what means Ich Bitzaroi. Asach does. What? Yeah. But there is. I remember I didn't see it this week. I saw it I think last week. The Arza Levonin, Sefer of Erev Stella on Toises. The Sefer Arza Levonin, nice Sefer on the thing. So the day he brings from the Achronim, he brings of this Shaila. I don't remember his text, but I'm gonna have to check it. I'm gonna let you know next week. Sorry. Okay. The Meiri wants to say a different shot. He wants to say that. What means Giluach B'Miktas? Giluach B'Miktas means so Giluach Legamrei not. And that's why it says, where does the Raya? It brings the Raya from the Mishnah itself. What is Mekel? Mekel. From the Lashon Mekel itself says the Meiri is a Raya. And Mekel, another reason he says, because the Heter Giluach Kumtois, right, from the Gemara, where do we learn that from? Avshalom. He says the Kabbalah, we know the Kabbalah Be'yodeinu, that the Nazir Oilam, Nazir Oilam Avshalom is for sure in the shape legamre. And why? Because he says Avshalom nizgaye v'saroi. So he says Ein Adas that he was megalech legamre. That was his claim to fame.
The Rosh also seems to say that.
The Rosh itself, way over
here.
Yeah,
the Rosh also says that. Yeah. The Lashon Mekel mashma the Mashma.
Mekel, yeah, from the Lashon Mekel, yeah.
Yeah, and also it's not established to say that he was megalech called Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, so again, the Rambam disagrees. The Rambam says that megalech legamre. Now the machloikas and the mefarshim is if it means that he's not megaleach mamish, right, as we said, or that some say what means megaleach. Megaleach means the whole sire only chelik of itself. Whole sire or chelik of itself. But in the Rambam is masha that he's megalech legamre. Megalech legamre. Oh. The Minchas Chassidut, if we continue on the same line, the Minchas Chassidut has a Minchas Shin Samaches and Ois Yud Beis has a suffix. It's mistapek azoy. The Fitoisis, if what we said betal is dafke, right? The Mishnah says mekel betal. What means betal? The Fitoisis. If what we said betal is dafke, it's exactly because it has to be tal, like tiglach astare, or lav dafke. He says that misvora, I would say, because he has to be megaleach, not legamre. As Toisa says, not legamre. He has to leave a little bit, like so. He's not megaleach legamre like what tiglach astare. So tar is also lav dafke, because the tiglach astare is legamre. So because it's not like a tiglach astare and it's not legamre, maybe the tar is also not dafke and it's like that. But he brings of there for the shita kubetz that he brings to the rosh, and the rosh is later on in daf heyom et aleph. He's not megalech legamre, but he does need a tar. He does need a tar. As the Rosh in the Feyom Medalef. And the Meiri says that im hich bitzaroi, make a tar, that he has a bit of a shinoi. That means he says not the misporaim, and that's the giluach, and also betar. What Toisha says is dafke mekel. That means he's doing a giluach a bit, but giluach legamre not, but it has to be b'shinoi. So he's doing a giluach ktsas with tar. It's like a little bit should be a shinoi. State of A in the Gemara. Now, this betar is only if he wants. As is mashma and Toisles in our base. Toisles says, and if you look at Toisles, the end of the Omed, the Nazir, the second Toisles from the end of the Omed in Davdal our base, Toisles says over here, the Nazir, Oilom Eichiksi, Kloimar, Shemuto Lehoken. My son, shall make Kloimar Kadeisle, Omlama Kadeisle. So it's mashma for Toisles that what? That if he wants, make the betar is Nishkan Chiyuv. You're asking beforehand, who says that it's not a thing? Oh, that's an email to, right? That's what Tosa says. Yeah. So email to, if he wants. Now, there's that state in the Pirush Mishnah Rambam that this is not a chiyuv. If he wants, and then they state in the Meiri, and then they state in Keren Oiro later on in the Chesam Beis that if he wants. Oh, in the Rosh, yeah, what do you say? Yeah. Why? Maybe he chose not to go, so you can't say that thing. Yeah, that's what he's saying, yeah. Now, as we said, if he becomes Tomei, so he brings 3 behemoths. Let's see the Toises who maybe give a behemoth. Beshosh Shemekel, Halocha leMoshe miSinai, Vasmachte meAvshalom, Domar Avshalom Dorai Chatos Oilo Shloi Kenazir Torah. The Toises says the Halocha leMoshe miSinai, and the Asmachte is Avshalom, where he says Avshalom Dorai Chatos Oilo Shloi like Kenazir Torah. Now we can see in the Gemara at the end of our base what we can see over there in this noise. Now the Gemara, the beginning of the that he allowed, right? Another Shimshon is allowed to be metamel mesim afilu lekatchile. The Lashon on the Mishnah we can see in the Gemara. There's not much mazay in the Mishnah, right? And Toises in the Meiri they write another nafkemina. What's legabe shaila? Legabe shaila. Nazir Shimshon cannot be nishalam nazirusoy, as you mentioned before, right? It's a Gemara later on in Daf Yudal Amud Beis. Yudal Amud Aleph, and as we mentioned before, there's also Gemara and Makkos in Daf Chav Beis Amud Aleph, and Rashi over there says that what's the reason? Hasheiken and Nazir Oilam, and Tosis fragt why the Mishnah didn't mention it. Yeah, but that's another thing. But we have enough Gemina. Still have Gemina if you can be sure the nether or not. Why is that enough Gemina? You matir the nether or not? Sure. Let's see the Tosis inside. Let's see the Tosis inside. Ma bein Nazir Shishel and Nazir Oilam. Let's see the Tosis inside. Dr. Toysfus. You know what? Let's see the Toysfus inside. We're gonna have to the mahalach what we started today. We're gonna have to continue to next week with Chaval. I didn't want to stop it because we're gonna have to be talking a bit next week because it's quite okay. The mahalach of what is the Nazir Shimshon? So you both three different malachim with the Gemara. We're gonna see. Okay, let's focus a little bit now on this. We came. I don't. If you go driven into this, okay. So let's see the Toysfus. Ma bein Nazir Shimshon and Nazir Oilo. Veitoimar. Shaila yikebenayu. And Nazir Shimshon lese v'shaila. ונזיר אילום איסה בשיילה, כדי שפק מסה דמקס, גם יכול להיות שתלה מחוד. יש לו אמר, מי איסה דלסה בנזירוס, לא יקטנה, ואם איש עלה לנזירוס, אז לא יהווה נזיר. ואוכל כלומר, מה בין נזיר שמשון? ששניהם נזירים. Okay. Now, when we say מה בין נזיר שמשון, so Toysa says that the chiluk is, נזיר שמשון is אי אפשר, to be matir the Nazirus, right? By a Chochem. Nazir Olam, you can be matir the Nazirus by a Chochem. Well, the Mishnah didn't write this chiluk is because the Mishnah wrote only chiluk that there is in the behavior of the Nazirus. This chiluk is not behavior because it's in the hatorah of the Nazirus. It's the hatorah of the Nazirus. And what is the reason, Take, that the Nazirus Shimshon cannot be nita? It doesn't tell us the reason, but let's look at think about it a second. What's Take the reason? So. Huh? Oh. So Rashi is very good. Very good. What you're saying is Rashi and Makis and the first pshat says because it was not his. It was the Malach. The Malach. It's not his bchira, as we said. Person can be matir a neder. He done a neder. A Pesach, a rote, a lish, a milyon. But that's what we said because Shimshon became a Nazir and a Malach. A Chacham could not be matir, tell me that the Malach was noider, because it's not to choose him, yes, to choose or not to choose. Because he was not Nodo. Oh, you can see. The Mefarish Taka says, the Mefarish doctors, what you're saying, the Mefarish later on in the Afyudalit explained that because Shimshon was not a Nodo, he could not be matir. The Shaila. Yeah. The Mefarish doctors, yeah. You see it in the Gemara. Choyr, davar anodu. As b'meila, well, Nazir Shimshon, as we said before. And that we're going to speak about. We're going to speak about this. Yeah, what is exactly the Marit? The Marit.
Without being trying to either net or
yeah. So we can see about Hashem next week. I want to bring it out a little bit more giboit a bit. I think so. That's why I first want to learn the Gemara, and then I think it's going to be a bit easier. The Marit. Let's speak about this. The Marit says that the Torah of a Chochem could be only in a neder. A person's on a neder, right? A Chochem could be matir when the noider has a Pesach, Charote. Shimshon, once he's a Nazir Meilov, not Shaykh Petach, not Shaykh Charote, not Shaykh all of this thing. Now, Ober Frank Marit, what Rebelli asked. This is very nice about Shimshon himself. Shimshon himself, he was never accepting his mother accepted it. I mean, the Malach, none of them. But what about every person that is Mekab Nazir Shimshon? Why can't he go to Chochem to be matir? The person that's matvis in Shimshon, he could be matir. If someone's matvis his Nazirus and Nazirus on his friend, and his friend didn't find a Pesach, but he does find a Pesach, he could be matir the neder by Chochem. Yes, it's before the Gemara later on in the Chochem Medalet. As I think the Marit. Huh? No, so I'm saying, a person was Mekabel Nazirus and er hat nicht kein Petach. Jeder Mensch, Reuven, was Mekabel Nazirus and er hat nicht kein Petach. Nazirus, Reuven doesn't have a Pesach Nazirus. And a person says, Shimon says, Areini Nazir Reuven. Shimon doesn't have a Pesach. Shimon could not be matir the neder. Mapi told me, for sure he could be matir the neder. He was matir. So even though he says, Areini Nazir Shimshon, and Shimshon hat nicht, it doesn't mean I'm doing a Nazirus on Kapetach. And over here he didn't have a chlal other thing. No. So that's what the Marid is Mechades. Very good. The Marid is Mechades over there that anyone, because Shimshon became a Nazir al Malach, and anyone who does a Nazirus Shimshon is Keilu, he says, I'm noider al das malach. And it's Keilu as a noider al das rabbim. The Gemara Gittin, yeah, we all remember the Gemara Gittin, the Flamed Hey. A noider al das rabbim. Ain't that Torah? If he them, Zog the Marid, you can be Matir Nazir Shimshon, let's say mitzvah. Saying like the Gemara says, I'm noider al das rabbim. Let's say mitzvah, right? The Gemara says of the melamed that hit the children, and then they were matir because you will find a different melamed. Let's say mitzvah. So mitzvah say, as I bring the marit, a very interesting thing. Huh? Shimshon himself not. Yeah. The Rambam in Alochas says, in Alocha Yudale, the Rambam says of the Perek Gimel and Nazir was the Rambam says because leoila moisa, leoila moisa. And that's the reason it's not nitan. Because if Misha fragt, a Nazir oilam should also not be matir the neder because leolam. And then he has a big doichat over there. It's not going to be matir or not. I think you can find for with this a different shaila. There's a nice shaila. You can find for. Let's finish with this shaila. Let's finish with this shaila. And what's next week in the day? Is there a shaila of the Gvurui Sari? There's no Gvurui Sari on Nazir, right? Gvurui Sari is on Makkas, right? Turieven, on Makkas, Yume. In the end of the Sefer of Gvurui Sari, there's Chidushei Nazir. Chidushei Nazir. Very interesting thing. Over there, fragt interessante Scheile. Actually, the Turieven Rosh Hashanah Chof Efekt is a bezach, aber steht dort nechet. The Gvurui Sari fragt as a Scheile. Why didn't the Mishnah say enough Kemine, another enough Kemine between Nazir Shimshon and Nazir Oilam? Wasn't enough Kemine. It's a Gemara in Yevomis. Famous Gemara, the Gemara in the Fei, the Gemara in Yevomis, the Gemara says that a Nazir Metzayra, so he does Tiglachas Metzayra. Right? Mizgaleach, Tiglachas Metzayra. Nazir, that is a Metzayra. Vakoven Etzaras, so he does a Tiglachas Metzayra. Why? Because the assay of Tiglachas Metzayra could be doiche, the assay velois assay that has a Nazir. There's also assay and the lois assay of Nazir. Why? Because the Asas the Nazir, right? The Isur Nazir is a Isur Kal. Why it's a Isur Kal? Yesh no Beshaile. What's the Isur Kal by a Nazir? Why is it doiche? Because the Isur of Nazir is a Isur Kal. Why it's a Isur Kal? Yesh no Beshaile. Can be different. Oh, he was, I'm afraid to go say, Nazir Shimshon, that you could not be Matir, you can't be Megaleach, Tiglachas Metzayra. Right? Because the whole reason he can be Megaleach, a Nazir is not allowed to do Tiglachas. But what if he's a Metzayra? He's allowed to do Tiglachas. Then you think about your is why? Say, I don't have say because it's a say Kal. What is a say Kal? The Nazirus? Because yes, no Beshaila. And that's why the assay of Tiglachas Metzayra, even it's a assay, and the Lois assay could be doicha because it's a Isur Kal, because yes, no Beshaila. What if you have a Nazir that ain't no Beshaila? So you must say Nazirus Shimshon that he can't be Matir Dei Chacham, you can't be Megalech, Tiglachas Metzayra. Kum dois, you have another chiluk between a Nazir Shimshon and Nazir Olam. Nazirus Olam, you could be Megalech, Tiglachas Metzayra if he was a Metzayra. Huh? No, that's no. But the Nazir Shimshon, no, it's not going to help because they got me the shaila. He's not. Yeah, okay, could be. The Nazir Shimshon, you can't be Megalech, Tiglachas Metzayra. Oh, Elamai. So we can find from what we said now. Oh, it's a mitzvah, so you do have a shaila. Or sometimes you do have, yeah. So the feed them we can find so. The Torah Yemen actually, when he answers the shaila, he said that all of the Nazirus, and this we're gonna come back next week, and he says a very interesting thing that all Nazirus yeshlo b'shaila, and Nazirus Shimshon is he called min miminei hanazirus. It's under the family of the category of Nazirus, and therefore also Nazirus Shimshon is right. He himself coming. It's also kal, and he can be megaleach tiglachas metzayra. And there's a few malchim in the achronim about this shaila, but there's a shaila. There's a song. What was about this? The fake the shaila. Yeah. Why? Yeah. But that's what he's saying. Because Mina Nazirus. Shem Nazirus has Shaila. He's with Mina Nazirus. Achonim Dakan. Pashas, we say that Achonim say Pashas is the Teretz is Asay. Nazirus Shimshon, you don't have the mitzvahs Asay that we have in the Nazir. Why? Because what's the mitzvahs Asay? But there, what we have over here, we have a Tiglachas Metzoyra. Stam is Teretz with Achonim. We finished this year already, so Stam is Tiglachas Metzoyra, what is the Tiglachas Metzoyra? It's Asay. Should be the Nazir, because the Nazir also has Asay, and the Lois Asay. What's the Asay of Nazir? Gadel Perasa Roishay. This mitzvah is only, when is the Gadel Perasa Roishay? This mitzvah is only when at the end of the Nazir you have a Tiglachas mitzvah. So then, right, the mitzvah of a Nazir is Gadel Perasa Roishay, right? Why? So it's Mavur in the Gemara. You see in the Gemara, it's Mavur because Gadel Perasa Roishay that you should be Mekai the mitzvah of Tiglachas. But Nazir or Shimshon, you don't have a mitzvah of Tiglachas. So you also don't have a mitzvah of Gadel Roishay. You have a mitzvah of Tiglachas. You have only the Isur, or you don't have the Asay. That means Tiglachas has two parts. When a Nazir, we spoke about it in the Akdom also, we spoke about it. A Nazir has two parts. Why is not allowed to shave his hair? Is it because Asay or Lois Asay? Both. The Lois Asay is because the Torah says, right? But also Asay of Kadesh Perah. The Asay, the Chelik is Asay is why? Is because we wanted to be Mekayim with Tiglachas mitzvah. So this is Dafke, so the same. But now lechoire Nazir Shimshon says no mitzvah tiglachas because no mitzvah to be megadel saroishoy. Maybe it could be megalech tiglachas betzoyro. There is no kula over there that the chacham is matir, so it has only the lav. And I say doiche a lav. Now every Nazir that you have also the say you need also the kula of the chacham. Now the shaila is about the Nazir oilam. The Nazir oilam lechoire does have a tiglachas. But it's not a tiglachas of a mitzvah, so we're back to square one. Yeah, fine. I go to Shekoyach, and Hashem, next week we know to learn the Gemara on the base, Gemara with Toysfus. And Hashem, we're gonna try to figure out again the Zil Shimshon thing. Shekoyach. You're welcome. One second.